asked for this for my birthday. I was so happy when I got them. This is their 60 set. This is one of them. I know they have another one, but this one I really wanted because it had the neon colors. I think it also has metallics, but I personally don't really care too much for metallics. But I'm still so excited about this. I actually love these markers. They are definitely worth the hype. I have a bunch of them in here. These are my cool tones, and then on the other side I have my warm tone. I said that backwards. These are my warm tones, these are my cool tones. I have them all labeled. Nice and fun. I got them all labeled on the side as well. So literally I just showed you guys these ones that I had bought, and I just have them all still in here. Beautiful. I got a fair bit of money for my birthday, and well, I decided to buy the other set. So now I have both of them. I have a little bit of an addiction to these markers. Yeah, so now this one just came in, and we have to sticker all of these and swatch them as well. So I guess that's what we're doing now. Now that I'm done swatching all of these markers, we can start to color with them. I literally had finished swatching the first set that you saw and was like, yeah, I'm definitely buying myself the other set. I just really like these markers. They're so enjoyable to use, especially in my sketchbook. So I decided to just wait until I got that second set, which is what you just saw being swatched, so I could film this drawing and just have all of the markers with me. If you're wondering if I like these markers or not, the answer is definitely yes. Right before these got like really big on YouTube, I was trying to find like a good paint marker just for myself, and I had seen, I think it was Doodle Date, use the SimTap ones, and I'm pretty sure it's by Arrtx as well. I'm pretty sure they're the same company that makes these ones. So I was originally looking up the SimTap paint markers. When these ones popped up, I couldn't find the other one. I don't know if they had just not come out at that time and they were just sending them out to YouTubers, but I couldn't find those ones. But I found these ones, and they were really good. They had a lot of colors, and the price wasn't too bad because this was the 30 set. I figured they should work the same. They're just acrylic paint markers. I asked my mom if she would get the first set for me for Christmas, and she did. Thank you, Mom. I was at my dad's workshop, where all of my art supplies are and like all of my art stuff is, and I was using these markers and I just loved them. I just kept saying that to my dad like the whole day and saying that I wanted to get the other set because this was when I had that first 30 set and there was a second 30 set. And so he bought them for me as kind of like a late Christmas present. Probably just to shut me up, honestly. But thank you, Dad. Recently, I saw that they had these 60 sets, and I was so excited because there were new colors and the neons. I really wanted those neon colors. I thought those would be so fun to add to the background of my drawings. I bought all of these on Amazon, and they are kind of a lot of money when you think about how much money, but at the same time, when you think about how much you're getting per each set, it's really not that much money. It's just kind of like a lot of money at once, but you are getting a good deal, especially for paint markers. I mean, so many paint markers are so expensive, and these ones are a brush marker, so they're easier for you to use in your sketchbook, unlike a Posca, which kind of eats away at the paper more, whereas these ones are a little bit more gentle when you're using them on paper. My family doesn't have a lot of money, so I try not to spend too much on things. But I just really could not help myself with these markers. I think one of the reasons I love these markers so much is because I have been going through art block recently. I feel almost like I have forgotten how to draw, and it can be very frustrating when none of my sketches look good. However, I find that with these markers, I can kind of paint over the sketches and just like use the sketches as more of like a guide. And it's been really helping because even if I feel like I've sketched something that didn't come out great, I can just color over it and it usually ends up looking pretty decent. I kind of like having an ugly sketch because I have no problem drawing over it with these markers. And I feel like they always end up looking the best when I do that. So when I was coloring this sketch, I wanted to show like different colors from the sets, but I do feel like I ended up like staying to my usual favorite colors and color schemes. So hopefully you guys get a good look at what they can do. When I was sketching this, that first drawing that I sketched was so easy and it looked so nice. But then the other two girls that are right next to her were just fighting me the whole time. The reason the girl on the end has like a sticky note over her face is because I had to erase her face so many times that the paper was starting to like tear away. I don't usually use sticky notes in my sketchbooks because I usually don't really care about covering up my art, but I was making this specific video and I wanted it to look nice, so I used the sticky note to just cover her and redraw her face. I think it's funny that I was most excited for the neon colors, but then I barely used them. I only used them in that first drawing. I feel like these markers work best when you put down a darker color first and then layer over that with a lighter color on top of it. These paint markers are opaque, so you can layer them really well and they look really nice. The only bad thing I have really found with these markers is that a few of the markers that I got were kind of dry. Like, they were still usable, but hard to use. Like the yellow marker that I used for the girl in the end's dress. It was dry and I could still use it, but it sucks since it's a brand new marker and I don't want to be fighting a brand new art supply. I had that problem with one of the grays as well. But like I said, it was only a few markers, so it wasn't the whole bunch. And a couple of the markers, mainly the metallics, were like overfilled. So when I would open them, they would kind of just be like overspilling the paint. I have already used these even more in my sketchbook, and I even use them in some of my paintings when I'm being kind of lazy. They just work so well for like smaller details, but not like tiny details. I like to use color pencils for the smaller details on these. I have only had a problem with the color pencils when I pushed a little too hard on the paint layer and it would kind of chip the paint away a little bit. But that's really only when I'm pushing too hard with the color pencil. You can use these paint pens for smaller details, but I find for me that they are not great for the little details unless you are working on like a bigger piece. Then you could probably use them for smaller details. I feel like there are times with these markers you really just have to trust the process and keep going, and you have to find how the supplies kind of works best for you, because sometimes you really get that ugly stage with these, but the more you use them and like work towards your finished piece, the better it looks. The drawing that is on the bottom of the page is a drawing that is of a sketch that I did that I traced onto this piece of paper, because originally I was going to be doing a painting of that piece and I put it on this sketchbook paper so I could do like a color comp of it, but I just never ended up doing it, so I figured I'd just use it for today's drawing. I really love how this page ended up turning out. I'm so happy that it looks good. So, well, if I wasn't obvious, I really like these Arrtx acrylic paint markers, and they are a pretty good price when you compare it to other brands out there, especially. Well, I guess that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!